Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Merkley.
Thank you very much. And I had a chance to travel to Vietnam and Indonesia earlier this year, and there's a fair amount of confusion, I will say, as we talk about the AUKUS, the Quad, and then reinforces centrality, as you put it, Deputy Secretary May, of ASEAN. There are issues that are particularly important to countries, like individual issues for Vietnam and Indonesia. They're different, two very different nations. We had quite positive responses to AUKUS from the Philippines, Japan, Taiwan, but a little bit of like, what's this all about and how does it affect us? And I know that a lot of work's been done to try to assure, and the word transparency has come up a number of times. That's important. In Vietnam, there is a lot of appreciation for Senator Leahy's programs of cooperation to heal the wounds from the Vietnam War, including addressing the munitions that continue to explode in the docks and contamination from Agent Orange. But as you assess it now, and I guess I would address this to both you, Secretary Lewis and Secretary Moy, do you feel like we have really assuaged the concerns expressed by some of those other nations, or is there still a little bit of kind of feeling left out skepticism, if you will, that requires further work?
Well, thank you very much, Senator, for that question. It is important that we have those candid conversations with not just the countries that you identified, but with all partners, allies in Asia. It's natural that something so new, so novel would generate questions. And so what we have done is undertake a very expansive effort to make sure that countries in the region do understand what this is and what it isn't. There are rivals out there. There are adversaries out there who will try to paint AUKUS in a different light, suggesting perhaps that the U.S. is a provocateur. In fact, it's just the opposite of that. We are recognizing the changing security environment in the future, and we are taking steps with like-minded countries, with allies, partners to address that. And we will go to all efforts to inform others in the region, to reassure them of our intentions, what this is really about. I am glad that our partners, our Australian and UK partners, have also undertaken these efforts to make sure that regional friends and others are fully aware of our intentions and what this is. And so we are committed to this. It is not to say that our work is done and that we are satisfied. We will continue as AUKUS evolves to inform our friends and partners out there, just to make sure that they do understand what we are trying to achieve.
May, I would like to just add something in addition to the AUKUS question, but to bring up something that you raised, which is part of what's really important is that our investment in the region is much broader than AUKUS. And I think what you pointed out, my bureau actually runs the demining and unexploded ordnance programs. We are the largest supporters of those programs in the world. In some countries, that is our largest assistance program. We consistently hear from countries about how important that work is, and obviously Senator Leahy was a leader in this. And his vision helped us achieve these goals. But I think it's important to remember that as significant as AUKUS is, we are doing a lot of different kinds of work, investing and working with countries on issues that are critically important to them, and in this case, helping save their populations from stepping on unexploded ordnance, but then also letting, once lands are cleared, then they can be used for other productive purposes. So just to support what Pete S. Moy said, but also really thank you for raising that program.
Yeah, thank you, and I'll continue to really advocate for those programs in the context of Vietnam. There's this sense in the conversations that, hey, we really appreciate the counterweight to an aggressive China, but we're also concerned about our relationship with China because they're a powerful nearby ally, I mean, reference to countries like Vietnam and Indonesia. And so we have both an opportunity and a concern, and as you recognized, Secretary Moy, China in particular accuses AUKUS of being a kind of a imperialist assault to a Cold War version attack on China, if you will, and to discredit it. But there's certainly a desire among a number of countries to have strengthened counterweight, and I think we are working effectively in nation after nation with different issues because each nation is so different. But good work. I missed, you probably addressed this earlier, so, but if you didn't address it, feel free to address it, that we do not yet have Pillar 1 in the Defense Authorization Act, and what level of concern you might have about that.
Thank you, Senator. Pillar 1, as Senator Kane was just discussing, is critical to the success of AUKUS. And the way this broader effort of AUKUS has been designed is it really is a crawl, walk, run approach. And so it's important that Congress is enthusiastic of and supportive of the key pieces of legislation for Pillar 1, like the ship transfer legislation, like the training legislation, and like the legislation that would allow us to accept this historic and unprecedented investment by Australia into our submarine industrial base. That can ensure that all of the right things can happen so that Australia will be able to then responsibly operate conventionally armed nuclear power submarines as soon as possible. And of course, the strategic picture is critical as well. As you no doubt heard from your travels, all eyes are on AUKUS. It is a spectacular effort, and showing that together these three allies can deliver deterrence in every phase and help ensure that the Indo-Pacific remains secure and stable today and in the future is crucial.
And what state are those submarines being made in?
I believe they're being made in a couple. There are actually parts, I believe, from a variety of states.
I think the word Virginia is the word you were searching for there. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.